Welcome to the Desert Hot Springs State of the City. My name is David Conover, Chair of the Desert Hot Springs Chamber of Commerce. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we'd ask that you please rise and direct your attention to the monitor for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We are thrilled that you are joining us today, as one of the Chamber's main objectives is to provide accessibility and education to local, state, and regional leaders. As part of that ongoing commitment, we are pleased to present the annual city update in partnership with the City of Desert Hot Springs. The Desert Hot Springs Chamber of Commerce was founded in 2018 and for 2 years has worked to represent, promote, and strengthen the local business community. We are proud of our legacy within the City of Desert Hot Springs, our relationship with our city staff and elected officials. And most of all, we're proud of the community we are blessed to serve. Through our partnership with the Greater Coachella Valley Chamber of Commerce, our 5 other participating local chambers, tribal partners, and the County of Riverside, our Desert Hot Springs Chamber continues to serve the community of Desert Hot Springs with business advocacy, community events, and support for the local economy. I would like to recognize my fantastic team of local professionals that serve with me on the local Desert Hot Springs Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, all of which work hard to support our local business community. Charles Barenbrugge, Charles Estates, Jessica Gilbert, Four Winds Realty, Jeffrey Homan, Emerge Financial Services, Victoria Lort, Mission Springs Water District, Eric Pontius, Playoff Sports Bar, Edward Rizzo, R. Rizzo Strategic Solutions, Irene Rodriguez, Cabot's Playboy Museum, Mark Rogers, Desert Regional Medical Center, a part of the Desert Care Network, and Cody White, Belamonte Recovery. Thank you to the Desert Hot Springs Board for all your hard work and dedication this year. I would now like to welcome the Greater Coachella Valley Chamber of Commerce, Chair of the Board, Jeff Levine with Asher & Asher Consulting.
Thank you. My name is Jeff Levine, and I'm Vice President and Director of Client Services for Asher & Asher Consulting, an advertising agency here in the Coachella Valley. It is a pleasure to be here with you as the Chair of the Greater Coachella Valley Chamber of Commerce. I also want to thank the Desert Hot Springs Chamber Board for their work and support of the local Desert Hot Springs business community. Our chamber is also supported by a great group of volunteers at the regional level, and I'd like to introduce our Executive Board of Directors. The Greater Coachella Valley Chamber Executive Board of Directors for the 2020-2021 operating year. Valerie Ward, Secretary, Burtech Waste and Recycling Services. Rich Ramhoff, Treasurer, Desert Regional Medical Center, part of Desert Care Network. Jay Chesterton, Vice Chair. Fantasy Springs Resort Casino, Cabazon Band of Mission Indians. Carmen Contreras, Chair-elect. State Farm Insurance, Carmen Contreras. Tony Merrihew, Past Chair, Trani Group USA, and yours truly, Jeff Levine, Chair, Asher & Asher Consulting. We want to thank and recognize all of our elected leaders that are with us today. Thank you very much for being here. We would like to offer a special thanks to our sponsors. Without the strong financial support of our members and sponsors, the Chamber would not be able to provide the multitude of services we provide. Our title sponsor for today is West Coast Cannabis Club.
West Coast Cannabis Club is a cannabis company that is centered in Coachella Valley. We have 3 retail locations, and we just added our new micro business license, which allows for us to have cultivation, manufacturing, and distribution as well. As a new store, a lot of people who are starting to come in are new to cannabis, and they're a little bit intimidated. It's a 30,000 square foot building. And so we hope that they realize when they get here, it's very clean. We're very welcoming. There's nothing to be intimidated by. Feel free to ask questions and take as much time as you need to. All of our staff knows everything that they need to know about all of these products and can make sure that they help you find exactly what you need. Our customer is the most important part to us. We do everything we can to try to make sure that our customers feel safe in coming back. And we have loyalty programs, but most important, we really try to be a part of the local community and more than just a store that people can come to. We work with the YMCA, the Boys and Girls Club. We're in the Greater Coachella Valley Chamber of Commerce, and we really try to make sure that we're here to be an actual contributing part of the community so that all of our customers know that this is more than just a place that they can come and visit. We are actually a contributing member, and we're actually a business that takes our role in Coachella Valley very seriously. Really excited to see what happens over the next few years in Coachella Valley. We do have a lot of support from the local officials and our local community, and we have no reason to think that we won't just continue to grow. The cultivation is just now coming on. We're getting ready to hire 10 or 15 people there. We just launched our delivery service. We're getting ready to hire another 10 or 15 people there. And I really think the next few years is going to help us really settle into this community and provide a lot of growth. We're not done growing yet. We're really excited to launch a few products that we have coming out this year to try to differentiate our menu and to try to help find a cheaper alternative for a lot of our customers. And we're working on additional retail stores here in Coachella Valley. We're really excited to see where the future goes.
Our presenting sponsor is the City of Desert Hot Springs. And today's sponsors are AT&T, Vertec Waste and Recycling Services, Chandi Group USA, Desert Care Network, Desert Sun Media Group, Desert Urgent Care, Fantasy Springs Resort Casino and Cabazon Band of Mission Indians, Greater Palm Springs CVB, Sam's Club, SoCal Gas Company, Southern California Edison, State Farm Insurance, Carmen Contreras, Sun Community Federal Credit Union, and Quick Quack Car Wash. Thank you again for your generous sponsors' support. Now comes the start of the fun. We will continue our program with honoring local businesses and community members. I'd like to welcome back David Conover to assist with our awards.
Thank you, Jeff. It's a pleasure for me to be able to announce these awards. And the first award this year we're giving away is the Large Business of the Year. This year is presented to Royal Emerald Pharmaceuticals and Mark Crozier. Although they are new to the community, they're making a huge splash in the short time they've been here already. The company will operate the first of its kind pharmaceutical cannabis research facility in the country. Royal Emerald Pharmaceuticals was founded in 2017 by Mark Crozier, a first responder and military veteran. Mark had firsthand experiences with the challenges first responders and veterans face in their efforts to get quality medical care because of the impacts they face in their line of duty. Crozier stated, "It is our mission to alleviate the impacts of PTSD and other health consequences veterans and first responders experience by creating safe and effective medicines." Congratulations, Royal Emerald and Mark Crozier.
Hey. On behalf of the team at Royal Emerald and myself, we want to thank the Chamber for the recognition and welcome to the community. We plan on being a great supporter. Thank you.
All right, next business will be Small Business of the Year, which this year is going to go to Playoff Sports Lounge and Eric Pontius. Playoff Sports Lounge and Bar did a huge pivot to better serve the DHS community. Playoffs hosted a lunch bunch in February where he gave everyone lunch. Eric Pontius jumped into action during the COVID transition to offer the GCVCC members a class on mixology. Most recently, owner Eric Pontius moved his business into the essential business classification during COVID. Playoff Sports Lounge and Bar has been a large part of the Desert Hot Springs business community for over 10 years and plans on many more years. Congratulations, Playoff Sports Bar and Eric Pontius.
Thank you. Thank you very much, David. It's an honor, and we love this community, and we've been a big part of it for actually 17 years now, and we're looking forward to a lot more years to come. So thank you so much for the honor.
Congratulations. The next award is for Volunteer of the Year, and this year that award goes to Team Mom, aka Margaret Webb, for the Outreach DHS Unity Ride for Homelessness. Margaret Webb has been a huge advocate to the DHS community. She steps in to help out wherever and whenever she is able. Her latest mission is the Unity Ride for Homelessness. On September 1st, she started her journey across 7 states. Her mission is to ride 40 days and 40 nights across our beautiful country. Ride and feed the homeless, y'all. This journey will benefit all 50 states. The goal is 1 million blankets and 1 million cases of water donated. Congratulations, Margaret Webb, Outreach for DHS Unity Ride for the Homelessness.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless because I'm looking at all of you guys, and you're the reason why everything that I do is possible. My chamber, even before I became an official member, you guys were always there for me, always supporting me, always behind everything that I was trying to do in the community. And now I've got a chance to spread out across the United States. And I got a chance to see that other people want to support other like-minded people. So I couldn't have been this volunteer without you guys. Whatever award you guys are giving me, I'm not accepting this award alone. And yeah, those are tears of joy and laughter and happiness and hurt and burden. But I love all of you guys for being a part of my life to make everything happen that's going on in all of our communities. And I look forward to working with our tribal, our all of our Chamber of Commerce's. Please do not leave the Chamber of Commerce out, because a lot of this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for our chamber, for our mayors, for our governor, for our everybody that's in the legislature. I've got a chance to work with lots of you, and I look forward to working with the rest of you that I haven't met. I'd like to give the glory to God, because without God, there would be no me. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark. Congratulations again. The next award is for Nonprofit of the Year. And this year, that award is going to Food Now, DHS, and Dana Johnson. Providing weekly supplemental food assistance to those in need. Food Now is the largest food pantry in the Coachella Valley and is such defined as an essential business. And during this time of uncertainty and crisis, I want to make sure our clients and our community know that we will continue to offer weekly supplemental food assistance for households and individuals living in and around the western part of the Coachella Valley. Closing is not an option. Food Now has received hundreds of calls from the community and elected officials wanting to make sure we remain open during the coronavirus epidemic. As a USDA recipient organization and a Feeding America partner agency, we will always remain open, whether it be natural disaster, economic downturn, or pandemic. We will remain open and make sure healthy and nutritious foods remain accessible and available at no cost to vulnerable populations who otherwise might not be able to afford to eat. Dana and Food Now, congratulations.
Thank you, David, and thank you to the Greater Coachella Valley Chamber of Commerce for this unbelievable honor. You know, when we get into nonprofit charity work, we don't do it for the accolades or for the attaboys. We do it because we have a sense we want to help the good, hardworking people of our community. But then be recognized by such an outstanding group such as this is just an affirmation that the work we're doing is making a difference, and to be recognized is quite an honor. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Dana. Our last award is the hashtag This Is DHS award. This award is going this year to Mission Springs Water District and Nancy Wright. The best tasting municipal water in the world. Each February, samples are carefully drawn and sent to the International Water Tasting Competition in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. There, the water stands up to international competitors and attributes of appearance, odor, flavor, mouthfeel, aftertaste, and overall impression. Mission Springs Water District is the only water agency in the world to have won all 3 medals: gold, silver, and bronze. Mission Springs Water District won the gold medal in 2020, 2004, and 1999. The silver medal in 2011, 2008, 2001, and 1997. And the bronze medal in 2018 and 2003. Further, Mission Springs Water District was honored by the American Water Works Association in 2010 for having won more medals than any other municipal water purveyor in the world. Out of the 14 years Mission Springs Water District has competed, it has medaled an unprecedented 9 times. Congratulations, Mission Springs Water District and Nancy Wright.
Thank you. Thank you for the honor. And I'm very honored to accept this award for Mission Springs Water District. I'd like to thank the Greater Coachella Valley Chamber of Commerce and the Desert Hot Springs Greater Coachella Valley Board for honoring Mission Springs Water District with this recognition. Here at Mission Springs Water District, we are proud of our safe and reliable water that we provide to our customers. And since 1953, it has been our mission to provide, protect, and preserve our most valuable resource, water. I'll tell you a little bit about Desert Hot Springs and where this water comes from. Desert Hot Springs has been doubly blessed. We sit on top of 2 groundwater basins, a hot water basin called the Desert Hot Springs Groundwater Basin that supplies our local spas with our natural hot mineral water, and our cold water basin, the Mission Creek Groundwater Basin, that supplies us with our award-winning drinking water. And we also understand this is difficult times during this COVID-19 pandemic. So the board early on in the year, we doubled our billing assistance program with the United Way of the Desert. We suspended our water shutoffs, and staff continues to work around the clock as an essential business to ensure that our water and sewer services are unaffected. So once again, thank you for recognizing Mission Springs Water District and our award-winning water.
Thank you, Nancy. Congratulations. And I'd like to congratulate all of the award recipients today. Great job, everybody. And now I'd like to turn it over to Mayor Mattis to please welcome and present this year's Mayor's Award.
Thank you to the Greater Coachella Valley Chamber of Commerce and the Desert Hot Springs Board for hosting this event. And this year, I would like to award Candescent with the Mayor's Award this year. This is the first large-scale cultivation in the state of California, and we were fortunate enough to have it here in the city of Desert Hot Springs. They've produced hundreds of jobs, tens of thousands of dollars in tax revenue for the city of Desert Hot Springs, and they have been a great partner for the city of Desert Hot Springs. So please join me in congratulating the Mayor's Award this year to Candescent.
Well, thank you, Scott, and thank the Chamber for hosting us today. For those of you who don't know much about Candescent, our company names, we were named after the idea of we want to project light and have a warm glow. Our core values as a company are to live in excellence and gratitude. And we have deep appreciation of the mayor, the city receiving this award. And ultimately, as a company, our success fully owes to the public-private partnership and the incredible support we've always had from the city of Desert Hot Springs. Because of Desert Hot Springs, we became the first city permitted cultivator in the state of California. We've had the opportunity to become a top 3 employer and taxpayer in the city of Desert Hot Springs. We've been able to build the #1 selling family of cannabis brands in California. And most importantly, I'd say, we now have the opportunity to launch our 4th brand called Justice Joints, where 100% of our profits off that brand are going to social justice causes like cannabis prisoner release programs and reentry programs, and to increasing minority ownership within our industry. Without our partnership with the city, the 250 employees at Candescent, none of this would be possible. We have incredible gratitude for this award and the continued partnership with the city. Thank you.
Thank you, and back to you, Jeff.
And now we will start our Desert Hot Springs State of the City address. I'd like to introduce to you Mayor Scott Mattis. Scott Mattis has been a lifetime resident of Desert Hot Springs, born and raised. He attended school here and proudly raised his family here as well. Scott is a husband and father. He has 2 sons. His oldest, Lucas, who graduated from Desert Hot Springs High School in 2015, is an EMT and is married to the love of his life, Nancy Mattis. They have recently given birth to his first grandchild, Lydia Mattis. His youngest son also graduated from Desert Hot Springs School and University of California, Riverside, majoring in English. He now works to improve the lives of at-risk youth at Olive Crest. Scott married his wife, Victoria Mattis, in 2017. They raised their 3 daughters here in Desert Hot Springs. Rhea, who is 16 and attends Desert Hot Springs High School, is very involved in sports, USB, United Student Body, and AP classes. Cassia, 15, who also attends Desert Hot Springs High School, is very involved in the theater, arts, and gaming. And Chloe, 10, who attends Bella Vista Elementary School, is very involved with the DHS Rec Club, dance, and DHS Rotary Early Act. He was a local small business owner for nearly 10 years. He's an active member of the Desert Hot Springs Rotary Club. He has volunteered for over 20 years with the Desert Hot Springs Volunteer Fire Company, spent 2 years as president of Food Now, and has spent 20 years coaching and umpiring with Desert Hot Springs Little League. While being involved in several local charities and programs, he's come to realize that Desert Hot Springs is fortunate to have the hardest working volunteers in the Coachella Valley. Please give a warm welcome to Mayor Scott Mattis.
Hi, Desert Hot Springs. I'm Mayor Scott Mattis, and almost 5 years of service as your mayor and over 13 and a half years on the city council. I'm here today to address you with our 2020 State of the City. As stated, I've been on the city council for 13 and a half years. And though I thought I saw it all, in March of this year, COVID-19 smacked us right in the face. No one could have predicted this, and adding the recent recession and polarized politics, it's forced us, the Desert Hot Springs City Council, to think outside the box. I am proud of the way our city has handled these times, and the State of the City will prove that. In the past, we've usually packed a large room full of a couple hundred people and given the State of the City, but due to no gatherings, we have to record the State of the City 2020 this way. In this address, I will give you the facts today so you can make your own decisions. But I want to state up front, in my opinion, our city is financially stronger than ever before. Our recovery from the recession is one of the strongest in the state. Our position to attract commercial and retail business is stronger than it's ever been. Our community has come together stronger than ever before. And I'm going to give you the facts today so you can make your own decisions. So here we go. So let's start with the economy. In my first term as mayor, I focused on setting policy that would clean up our city, focus on our image, and make our streets safer for pedestrians, drivers, and bicyclists. The city council set the policy and our amazing staff implemented it. In my second term, we focused on building our economy, strengthening our reserves, jobs, and employee retention. And this city council has delivered. So let's start with our local economy and creating jobs. In the last few years, more than 2 million square feet have been approved for business development. Now, we all understand that it won't be built tomorrow, but there are opportunities, and a good amount of this is in the works for development. Let's talk about job creations. In the last 5 years, a total of 2,303 jobs have been created by 59 businesses that have decided to put down roots in our city. Let me repeat that number. 2,303 jobs have been created by 59 businesses. Now, it's hard to calculate the actual number of Desert Hot Springs residents that are employed, but I can say that when Grocery Outlet opened, they'd taken in close to 700 applications for 30 positions and hired 100% Desert Hot Springs residents. And that's only a portion of the real number. There are more cannabis businesses on record and paying employees, but they will not officially report employees to the city until they have assigned a regulatory permit. Overall, the unemployment rate before Corona hit us was 5.6%. That's a drop of 40% from our unemployment high in 2016. Now, we all know that unemployment skyrocketed in March through present times, but as the economy recovers, we can and will get our unemployment rates back to that 5.6% low. And if we continue with the current plan to development, it will get lower. Currently, despite the virus, there are 25 operational licenses in the cannabis businesses in Desert Hot Springs. Breaking that down, there's 8 cultivations, 4 cultivation distributions and manufacturing, 1 manufacturing, 1 cultivation distribution, 1 distribution, and 10 storefront retail. There are 21 cannabis businesses operating with temporary licenses. Let's talk about innovation. Cannabis has been a huge booster to our economy. After more than 70% of our residents approved the decision to bring cannabis to our city, we have seen millions of dollars and thousands of jobs as a result. However, that's not all Desert Hot Springs is about. Our property taxes and our transit occupancy tax, which is our TOT, this is that extra tax you pay when you go to a hotel, has also grown more than 25% in recent years, reflecting the diversity of our economy. In fiscal year 2019-2020, the city of Desert Hot Springs brought in $4.3 million in cannabis taxes, a growth of nearly 525%. Now, this revenue realized in the first year that we brought cannabis to the city. Property taxes are also growing year after year, reflecting of the continued growth in our city. In the past fiscal year, revenue from property taxes was $3.7 million, up 5% from last year, and up 32% from fiscal year 16-17. As a result, we are more solvent than ever. Although our general fund held roughly just a few $100s back in 2013, today we have $11.7 million in fund balance, thanks to our diverse and growing economy. This breaks down with approximately $7.3 million in 3 different reserve accounts and $4.3 in an operating account. The diversity is unmatched by our other Coachella Valley cities. While the COVID-19 has decimated the budgets of tourism-dependent cities, ours has experienced a more moderate impact because it is as much better situated to weather the times and emerge stronger. In fact, the California State Auditor recently named Desert Hot Springs one of the most fiscally healthy cities in the entire state, out of nearly 500 cities. Our economy's future continues to look bright. We completed our general plan and received our housing element certification in August, which allows us to apply for even more state grants. In 2019, Governor Newsom challenged all cities in the state of California to either finish their general plan and housing plans or be sued by the state. After pressure from lobbying groups, the governor met with cities and listened to their challenges. I was fortunate enough to be one of 17 mayors to explain our city's issues and explain that we were on track to finish our plan, which we did. During this time, some law firm out of Northern California decided to sue the city and get a couple $100,000 out of us. But our amazing attorneys were directed by the city council to fight for our constituents, and we won that case, not paying a dime in fees. In the meantime, finished all of our required documents, and today we have a general plan that will lead our city developments for many years to come. At this time, our building and planning department was rated class 2 on an independent audit. That means they are rated well above the county, state, and national averages in nearly all categories. I want to take a moment and thank Rebecca Deming, our community development director, and her team for after 2 years with the city. Rebecca will be leaving us for a position in another state, but her and her team took on the project and finished strong for our city. For these reasons and more, businesses continue to flock to Desert Hot Springs. Grocery Outlet opened in the midst of the pandemic with all local workforce, proving how hardworking and dedicated our city is. At the same time, Royal Emerald Pharmaceutical broke ground on a massive research and development facility. The owner, Mark Crozier, a veteran, founded the company to provide treatment options for others, veterans suffering from PTSD, and is even looking towards partnering with the VA hospital to provide services to vets for PTSD and addiction issues. We are proud to have a company like this in our city and look forward to the innovative discoveries that will happen within our borders. I want to thank Royal Emerald for listening to our team and picking Desert Hot Springs as their headquarters. We were fortunate to earn their trust, and after interviewing 4 other Coachella Valley cities, they picked us. They did not pay taxes on cannabis, but they have stated they will donate over $1 million a year to local charities and have donated so far over $100,000 since coming to the city and have committed over $1 million more over the next year. They look to attract other businesses and are putting their ideas to work every day. We are pleased to announce that Dollar General will build a new location in the north central part of our city. An investment group will soon announce their plans to bring a tap house to Desert Hot Springs. The tap house will provide a relaxing, social atmosphere and feature specialty brews. We implemented a new food truck ordinance to serve our visitors and residents alike. And a large national brand will be announcing an exciting project in our city in October. Finally, I'd also like to provide an update on our highly anticipated Tyson Ranch project. Jason Benavides, Desert Operations General Manager of the ranch companies, indicated to me that their plans to build the Tyson Ranch Resort and Entertainment Complex in Desert Hot Springs has never wavered. They remain totally committed to developing their project in the city and couldn't be happier with the working relationships they have with the officials and departments they work with on a daily basis. They look forward to continuing collaboration as we work together towards a shared goal of making Desert Hot Springs one of the top tourist destinations on the West Coast. Meanwhile, businesses like Quick Quack and Taco Bell are still going strong, proving that starting a business in Desert Hot Springs really pays off. Our residents are benefiting too. 100% of the employees at Taco Bell are Desert Hot Springs residents. At Quick Quack, it's 86%. And as mentioned earlier, Grocery Outlet, all 30 employees are residents of Desert Hot Springs. To ensure that more and more companies decide to call Desert Hot Springs home, we have hired a full-time economic development manager. So many times in the past, we've had these contracts and they just haven't worked out. So we brought someone in-house. And we were having a full-time person on staff to help attract and execute new projects. At the same time, our unique inns and spas, the traditional backbone of our city, continue to gain worldwide attention. We hosted an international gathering of spa owners in fall of 2019. And innovative hoteliers continue to open new properties throughout the city. Two Bunch Palms is planning additional treatment rooms in 2020 and 2021, and will continue to transform the property over the next year. Now let's get into our housing development. We have lots of new development going on in Desert Hot Springs. The gallery at Skyborn is selling quickly. 73 homes have been approved for the Agua Dulce project. 21 new homes are going into Rolling Hills. 4 are being added to Mountain View. And the Tuscan Hills specific plan amendment is in process, featuring more than 250 acres of residential homes and a hotel property with more than 300 rooms. Overall, 142 new single-family home permits were issued between January 1st, 2019 and August 26, 2020. 72 of these were from developers, and there are 15 additional new single-family homes in plan check. According to CVEP, the Coachella Valley Economic Partnership, home sales in Desert Hot Springs were up by more than 5%. Now let's talk about public safety. As new building goes up and new businesses join our city, they, along with our residents, are protected by one of the strongest police forces we have seen in recent years. Under the leadership of Chief Jim Henson, we have increased patrols and are fully staffed for the first time in recent years. We've added 2 canine officers and 2 motorcycle officers. As a result, the crime rate continues to fall. January through August of 2019 compared to January through August of 2020, we've had a 20% reduction in crime. When crime does occur, I'm sure you've seen through the media how quickly our detectives can solve the crimes. Even our canine officer has seen improvements. Our canine Storm, which is one of our officers' dogs, received a donation of a bullet stab-proof vest. Speaking of canines, in 2018, we brought back our animal care and control, which have proven to be much better fit for our city. We also hope to see the reopening of the animal hospital in Desert Hot Springs. It is such a vital resource to our community. Our economic development team is working with local veterinarians to see if they can get this reopened soon for our constituents. Regarding the fire department, plans are in works for 2 new fire stations. We need services in our east end and our southern end of our community. We are looking to build new fire stations very soon. Public improvements. As you've been out and about in the city, before and during COVID, you've probably noticed several city improvements over the last year. We've completed the Palm Drive Bicycle and Pedestrian Improvement Project, and the city's thoroughfares have never looked this good. The implementation of the safety corridor has already resulted in dramatic reductions in traffic collisions. So far in 2020, there has been 0 fatal traffic collisions in the safety corridor, as compared to 2 in 2019 and 4 in 2018. There have been just 6 injury traffic collisions as compared to the average of 8 per year in the last 2 years. Overall, the number of collisions in the safety corridor is down so far in 2020 by 42%. We've added new wayfinding signs and new entrants to the city. We've honored local veterans with banners on Palm Drive. Not just the entrance to the city, but the entire city overall is looking better than ever thanks to the trash pickup program we began in 2016, contracting Desert Valley Disposal to work full-time on picking up illegal dumping and debris throughout the city. This year, we built new playgrounds and shade structures at Mission Springs Park and Tedesco Park. For our seniors, we continue to overhaul the senior center with new furniture and programming like the farmers market. And now that our new city hall is built, we plan to expand the senior center campus and provide even more services. I wanted to say thank you to Food Now and our Desert Hot Springs Rotary Club for partnering together to deliver meals and food boxes during COVID-19 to our shut-in seniors. The last update I received, they were delivering up to 25 boxes a week and over 100 a month. We built a new administrative office and parking lot at Cabot's, one of the most important reminders of our city's proud roots. On 8th Street between Mesquite Avenue and West Drive, we constructed approximately 3,700 linear feet of underground storm drain to put an end to the constant flooding in that area. Our new city hall was completed ahead of schedule and at zero cost to the taxpayers. Our beautiful new library, which will be 4 times the size of our current one, is slated to open in early 2021. With the launch of the new City Port, City Hall can be accessed right from your home. Submit permits and applications and track the status of your projects without ever having to leave your house. We also created the LEAD program. This is a leadership program through our city to encourage communication and leadership across all our departments to deliver a better city government for you. It's already working. Desert Hot Springs recently was awarded a stellar A+ credit rating from Standard & Poor's. That means any future loans will come at a much better rate. It also tells the world that our city has its operations in check. You might not know this, but the rating was literally 0 when I took office in 2015. As a result of our proven excellence, we also have been awarded several grants in the recent months. One was for traffic enforcement. Another provided funding for free community cert classes. We received $160,000 in SB2 planning grant from the California Department of Housing and Community Development. In addition, we received $145,000 for zoning code update grant and a $15,000 GIS upgrade grant. I can tell you that the entire city staff continues to work to find more ways to bring funding, businesses, jobs, and better opportunities to our city. Our turnover is way down, and City Hall management has stabilized, allowing our staff to take on more complicated and long-term projects with confidence. One of the projects that we have to look forward to is the Wardman Park and pool renovations. Here's a preview of what you can expect. We also recently approved an anaerobic digester recycling facility for the state landfill reduction. In addition to the new wind farm updates, the innovative development will allow us to create renewable energy right here in our city, just the way Desert Hot Springs continues to move forward with a strong vision of our future. Now let's talk about our rec center. That means supporting and enriching our children. I'm thrilled to announce that we have a fully licensed children's program running at the rec center. This program has run all day long throughout COVID, even though it is generally an after-school program. We have 5 vans that actually pick up the kids from the rec program for the rec program. And when they get there, it's not just playtime with their buddies. These kids are doing science projects, research projects, and other enriching projects that are part of an educational program. If you're interested in having your children take part, please call our rec center. The attractions at the rec center aren't just for kids. We have a state-of-the-art gym for residents. $50 a year if you're a Desert Hot Springs resident, and you can have a full gym. Health and dental services at the Health and Wellness Center are done for our children on a regular basis by Borrego Health. And a robust swim program at the John H. Furby Aquatic Center. Now let's talk about our community. And as most of you know me growing up here, community is very important to me. Desert Hot Springs is a community that looks out for each other. As COVID-19 has hit, we have seen how our community has united to bend the curve. As a result, we experience fewer cases and deaths than many other Coachella Valley cities. I was born and raised here in Desert Hot Springs, and I've never seen the strength, resilience, and determination of our city more powerfully than in recent months. Before this virus struck us, our community came together for many new events here in our town. Last summer, our inaugural dive-in movies at the John H. Furby Aquatic Center was a huge success. In the fall, the lead program, Meet the City event, brought residents to Wardman Park for fun, games, and an opportunity to meet with city staff and elected officials, and dunk the mayor and city council, which I did, very cold that day. This important program helps train our city members how to communicate and be efficient across departments, ultimately delivering better government to you. Each group that participated in this program completes a project that benefits the community. In addition to the Meet the City event, our lead teams have coordinated donations to Food Now and completed an Adopt a Senior program at the Senior Center. Now, I'm talking about seniors, age-wise, but when you talk about seniors at our school, you can't help but not mention those in 2020 for not getting a graduation. My beautiful wife, Victoria, jumped on a Facebook group that was giving back to seniors in the Coachella Valley and coordinated one here in our community to basically give back to our seniors and celebrate the class of 2020. As we all feel bad that they didn't get the recognitions they did, we did the best we could as a city to recognize seniors individually and put up banners and local social media to celebrate their accomplishments, and we wish them the best. As we head into fall and winter, this is normally the time when we begin to start planning and promoting our many events. Obviously, COVID-19 is still restricting your daily life. This season won't look like others as it has in the past, forcing us to cancel most of our holiday events. Still, I'm very grateful for the way that our community members, faith-based organizations, and Rotary Club came together to unite to feed the hunger in our communities, feeding over 500 families a week here during the COVID times. But before you know it, we'll be back to celebrating the holidays right in front of City Hall. If you were able to attend, I'm sure you know what a special night of community get-togetherness it was. We will have moments like that again, and sooner than you might think. Now, I want to take a moment and talk about our staff. And before I wrap up here, I'd really like to talk about what our amazing staff has done here in the city of Desert Hot Springs, especially during these times. Our new city hall that we're sitting in today, giving this address, would never happen without the city manager's vision. Our deputy city manager and assistant city managers' time spent available to our city council is amazing. Handling 5 bosses isn't always the easiest. Our amazing police, code compliance team, fire, and public works are true essential workers didn't skip a beat during COVID. Our finance team keeping the city informed and our finances on track. Our community development team working to continue development in one of the craziest times in our nation's history. And in all other departments such as IT and economic development, and all our amazing frontline administrators, thank you for what you've done for our community to keep it moving forward. This is Desert Hot Springs. In short, people around the world are starting to pay attention to Desert Hot Springs as an example of innovative business development, responsible fiscal planning, public safety, natural resources. This all comes together. In this last year alone, we were featured in Forbes, the Wall Street Journal, Sunset Magazine, the Hollywood Reporter, and more. Recently, I was listening to a webinar and they talked about the iceberg. Basically, you see about 10% of the iceberg, and most people will be amazed and focused on that 10%. But what they don't see is that 90% of the iceberg under the water. This is a great example of our city. Too many times we focus on the 10% bad, good, or whatever the media and country is polarized with. And we forget about the 90% of good people, community, businesses, and positive momentum our city has. In the last State of the City, I spoke about peaks and valleys and how we should always strive for the peak, but remember our goal is a summit. In recent years, I've been honored to guide the city from the valley of 2020 financial crisis to the highest peaks we've ever reached. Now I get it feels like we're in the valley yet again. However, the work that has been done proves that our city council has made our city resilient like never before. Instead of quick fixes, we have implemented changes and projects that have made our city strong for a long term. With that in mind, I can assure you that our time in the valley is temporary. It is not the deepest valley we've ever been in. Certainly, without some of the changes that we've made in the recent years, our current situation could be much, much worse. I can assure you that our next peak is on the horizon and the summit is in view, closer than you might even think. Together, we will continue to climb, and together, I ask you to be proud of your city and the work done by our amazing team. On behalf of the Desert Hot Springs City Council, stay safe. This is Desert Hot Springs. This is the State of the City for 2020.